Hello, this is Emma from Team Living Your Dream, and this is your 7-minute success secrets for today. And today I wanted to talk about one of the major underlying contributing factors for success. Um, it's something that's probably one of the most difficult to achieve. It sounds simple, but actually putting it into practice can be extremely challenging. And that is consistency. If you want to be successful in anything in your life, you have to be consistent about the information you're putting out, the message you're putting out, consistency across your branding, how you're portraying yourself, who you're talking to, your customers. If you have a particular target market, stick with it. It's chopping and changing will confuse the message to other people. They won't know whether this is something for them or not. It's when you're consistent and sort of laser targeted at something, and you do it again and again and again, that the power of the message builds. And the people who are perhaps on the periphery or have got one ear open listening to you, they start to take more and more notice and start to tune in. And although you don't realize it when you're putting this information out day in, day out, when you're doing your thing, when you're doing your marketing, or when you're doing your podcast or your blogging, or however you're getting information out, is that people do watch you, and people will watch your consistency. And the more you build that reliability into your message, the more people will tune in and they will start to take notice. It builds your credibility with what you're talking about. But it also builds trust, and that's an important thing, especially when you're working on the internet, is trust. When you first come across something completely new or somebody completely new, you have no idea whether to trust it or not. And our default position is really not to. On many occasions, we don't automatically trust. In fact, anything to do with the internet and selling over the internet, it's the opposite. We automatically distrust. But if you're consistent, if you're there day in, day out, you build not only your trust for other people and you, but your credibility in what you're talking about. And people will start to take more and more notice, will start to talk about you to other people and let other people know what they're listening to. The very thing happened to me. I was staying with a friend when I was in Florence recently. I was staying there with a friend, and she was listening. She was telling me that every morning she had this routine of listening as she was getting ready and doing a thing and having breakfast. She listened to a particular TED. No, it wasn't a TED Talks, but it was a particular video cast every single day of this guy who was talking about popular topical subjects. But it was every single day, and it was for an hour. So he must spend an hour every single day producing something. But as a result, he built a huge following, including my friend, and she'd tune in without failure every single day to listen to what he happened to be going on a rant about that particular day. But the flip side of the coin is if you start something where you start showing up every day for something, or you start doing something every day, and you stop, then people very quickly will find something else to fill that time gap they had in their life. You start to become a feature in their life, and when you're not there anymore, all of a sudden, they may wonder why. They may wait around for a little bit, but it won't be long before they move on to something else that they can fill that time space with. They can fill that interest, so that people are fickle if you don't show up and if you're not there. And as that consistency builds, your audience builds, and your credibility builds, that's when people start to trust you and will pay attention to what you're saying. And that's important if you're selling something, because people will then have the confidence to buy what you're selling. But as I was saying a moment ago, if you fail to show up, if you don't achieve that consistency, then people will drift off and they will go and follow somebody else. Or they won't bother reading your emails anymore. Or, people, even if they don't read them at the time, they will keep them to read them later if you provide a consistent message. So it's that ongoing, just keeping at it. And that is incredibly difficult to do, actually. It seems easy. And I had an email from somebody recently, because I'd written a blog about consistency, and I had a comment on my blog saying this is the hardest thing to do, is to stay consistent. And I find it challenging too. I go through phases where I'm there every single day, and I send out emails regularly, and then something happens, or something else going on in my life, and I find it difficult to find the time to do that. And that's where what I'm doing now with the vlogging actually solves that whole problem, or helps that whole problem. And it does for me. Once you get over yourself and sitting in front of a camera and being able to sit and talk into a camera, it saves so much time. You can do in 7 minutes what would have taken me an hour before. So that consistency is far easier to achieve. So that's about my 7 minutes up for today. The message today in the 7 minute success secrets is consistency. So I will see you tomorrow without fail. Bye.